Well, good morning. It has been a minute, but we will kind of talk about that for a second. I have tried while I was kind of taking a break to make a video and explain what was going on. But no matter how many times I try to make a take and make a short little video on it, I could not get a good one that I thought was a good enough explanation. Not saying trying to come up with an explanation, but every time I made one, I was like, man, it's just that's boring. So, but in simple terms, about 2-3 weeks ago, even in my last video, I had said that my back was kind of messing with me. I was going to feel it out, and we're just going to see. And sure enough, I wake up that next day after I lift, and it was getting pretty rough. I didn't injure anything, but it was getting pretty rough, where it was just to the point where picking up anything was becoming a hassle. So that's one part. One part of it was just me, kind of being smart and taking a little bit of a break to really let my back kind of recover. And this is kind of a reoccurring thing for me when I really start getting into things and pushing limits. Sometimes I'm not paying attention and I get too excited and kind of push it a little bit too far too quickly. And so we're going to be a little bit better at that and paying attention to it. And on top of it, I'm also during that time frame, I was in transition of jobs, and a lot was going on at that time. So I couldn't really focus on what I was doing. I was so focused on getting a job that it just I just kind of took a break from everything, just so I can make sure that when I do come back and start filming, I can give good quality videos and not half-ass anything. With that said, today is chest, back, and shoulders with a little bit of adjustments. We are not doing three upper body days anymore. You're gonna have 2 upper body days and 2 lower body days. All I did was take the exercises from that 3rd day, kind of mix it into the other first 2 upper body days, and on that 5th day, we are going to do a mobility, abs, and cardio. So that's or core, for whatever. The reason I'm doing that is because during my 3 upper 2 lower program, I kind of put mobility and stuff to the side. Like, I would still stretch, but not very thoroughly, just kind of bend down, touch my toes for 10 seconds, and then off we go. And I'm not saying that's what messed up my back, but every time I take out some kind of mobility day, which it's annoying to do because it's really boring. But you've got to do this. I'm not saying you do, but I do. I've definitely got to do that, because if not, things like this happen, and I can't risk getting my back hurt and being in transition into a new job. Which, a little side note, hopefully that actually ends up happening. I gotta go do a follow up today, and then I should be getting a call saying when I start. So we'll see. But I'm excited. It's getting me out of the really hard blue collar side of things and kind of moving into a lighter version of it, which is nice. I've been needing that, and it's going to be better for my body, because a lot of my back problems, they don't exactly come from work, but man, they get amplified. It gets amplified because of work, and it's a very tolling job, and I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm finally getting out of it. And it took me a while to be able to get out of it. There's a lot of things that, once you get into that kind of business, it's really hard to get out and actually find another decent job. So, but I was fortunate enough to be able to, and I'm looking forward to it. But But with that said, the ironic thing is that I wasn't having back problems until I had quit, right? So when I had left my previous job, I wasn't having any back problems. And then all of a sudden, man, I wake up the next day and I feel a little something in my back, and then the next day got worse, and then it got worse. And then finally, it started locking up and I had to take a pause. But the funny part was, when I started looking for a job and I finally got a phone call saying I will have a job, I wake up the next day, my back feels a little better, and then a little better, and then a little better. So I really, there's a slight chance, and maybe even more of a high chance, that my back probably just locked up on me because I was stressed. And and I've asked a few people that I know that are in the medical field, and they said, yeah, dude, that is an absolute thing that happens when you stress. Some people have physical reactions where you tense and you lock up, and it can happen. It can get very, very severe. So who knows? Maybe that's what was going on, stressing like that. And I wasn't even aware that I was in stress or anxiety. I had no problem being out of work for a second. I had prepared for it. I knew I was gonna leave, but somehow I guess my body wasn't as prepared. But it's fine. Now, today is going to be a feeler day. We haven't lifted in over 2.5 weeks, so we're not just gonna go in and really kind of just go back into normal setup. We're gonna do the same exercise and stuff, but we're gonna feel it out. Every exercise that I do, I'm not going to go up into the normal weight that I do. It may even be just half the weight, maybe a little bit, maybe double the reps or the same reps, just to see how my back reacts, just to see how my body reacts. Because one, even if my back wasn't messed up, I haven't touched a weight in 2.5 weeks, and there's a lot of other muscles that haven't been used in 2.5 weeks, and you got to get those things back up and working. So this is going to be kind of a feeler day. We're just going to see how everything's feeling and seeing everything's ready to rock. Because I'm not saying my back's like 100%, but it's sitting at like 95%. Like, it's got a slight little bit of inflammation. Mainly not due to being overworked, mainly due to being underworked now. So like, it's I've been sitting around kind of laying up and trying to rehabilitate my back. And after a while, when you sit around for that long, even after you fix it, you don't know, because it starts to stiffen up due to not moving. And I have been going to the gym every day, roughly every other day, just to kind of loosen up. I'll walk for a little bit, kind of stretch. But that's really all the movement I'd be doing that day, besides the fact of just going around, maybe shaking a few hands, having an interview or two. That's it. So not very active at all. But I am looking forward to getting into this. I'm drinking a little bit of pre-workout. Gonna do some cardio. I may actually do 10 minutes at the front, and then the other 10 minutes at the back. I've kind of been thinking about doing that because I think it just gets blood moving, blood flowing a little bit more. So it may be something worth trying, but I don't know. We'll try it and see what we do. But I'll see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna get here, kind of get moving around, getting woke up, and I'll see you guys in just a sec. All right. I didn't do a posing, like post lift talk. I guess this is what it's gonna be for today. Sorry if my camera's bouncing around. I'm at a weird angle. But lift went good. Lift went good, and I will say right at the end, back started feeling a little, but I mean that's to be expected. I haven't touched a weight in 2 weeks, so even if my back is fully recovered, I'm gonna feel a little bit after effect, and that's fine. We're not doing much else today, so I gotta make a little trip. Do some grocery shopping, and then after that, I'm resting for the rest of the day. So as long as I, stretch around a little bit, we'll be good. But overall, gym went well, and we didn't really have to cut down too much in weight. We definitely cut down, and honestly, I think that may be what we stick with for a little while, because the lift still felt intense. I actually had a really good connection with everything. And, I think that's what we're going to stick with right now. And just to stay healthy. And in all honesty, we're trying to drop weight. We're trying to maintain muscle. We're not trying to build muscle as much as, on a cut, people want to train as if they're trying to keep, to stay building muscle. And that's fine. That's a good mindset. But sometimes, for me, it's not the best route. I think right now we're just going to work on maintaining strength and not trying to pretend to build strength. So, but overall, it went good. Back, I didn't really feel much until I started cardio. And I think that was just, my back going, okay, I'm getting pretty worn out, man. So, but all in all, pretty good. So we got legs tomorrow. In all honesty, legs is the scary part. It's not really upper body that gives me any worries. It's more of the legs, I think, because once I train legs, especially after 2 weeks, man, I don't know if anybody's ever gone a week or two without training legs, or skipped a leg day, and then the next week they train, and it's like 10 times it's more sore than usual. But that's the only thing I'm worried about, is going and training legs and then waking up the next day and I'm so sore, everything tightens back up and it stiffens up. So, but you can't really worry about stuff like that. If it happens, it happens, man. That's just kind of part of it. So, but I mean, the only way to find out if we're fully recovered is to go and test it and just kind of dip your toes in the water and see what happens. It's kind of part of it. So, but overall, I think we're going to be fine. We will kind of play off a feel, but right now I feel pretty good. Lift was actually pretty good, and I kind of like the new setup. It is actually a little bit longer, but I don't mind it. It was good. But that's pretty much it for today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully everything stays good, stays healthy, and we can keep grooving. We lost 3 weeks of progress, so we gotta step it up. We gotta get things back and rolling. But anywho, I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully leg day works out the same way as today does. But see y'all later.